Hey, welcome back. This is Alex. And in this video, I'm going to go over my weekly watch list 10 stocks that are setting up for swing trades going into the end of the week and next week. If that's what you're into, stick around. All right, so before we get into the stocks, I always like to start with this segment. This is basically my proprietary market monitor, which tells me what to do, whether to sell or to buy stocks. And currently, we are in Market Monitor Orange, which means that it's almost ready to go green. And we are day 3, and we've moved about 0.03% so far. And the average move in orange is negative 1.15. And the average day of an orange cycle is 4.8. So if we get one more negative day, that would be an average cycle. And I'd be ready for the market monitor to go green. So we're looking for stocks to buy. All right. So the first stock is ALB Albemarle. This is a lithium miner, and it's got a nice setup here, breaking out of the yearly moving average. Has a nice little kind of mini cup and handle. We were outlining it on last week's video, but we said that this reaction here was much stronger than this reaction here. So it's going to lend itself to a breakout, and we are getting it today. Last week, I said the setup on this thing was to, buy the spring or the undercut of this range. But now we have a breakout setup. So if this thing can get above, this price and hold here in the next few days, I think this stock can actually go, let's see here, all the way to maybe 95, 100. So that's Albemarle for a swing trade. Our next stock is NBR. This is a oil driller, and I outlined it last week and on this candle here, and it's kind of just gone sideways. But we had a lot of volume come in on these two candles, so I'm watching it. I think if this thing can break out of this $35 level, this is a nice little accumulation pattern here, and a lot of volume coming in. So if this thing breaks, I'd expect it to go to 45. All right, next one. All right, our third stock is CDE. This is a gold and silver miner. We outlined it last week, and it's kind of just gone up. The pullback buy was last week, but like much of these other stocks, this is the breakout setup. It's held for 3 days, so I'm thinking that this thing is clear skies. This thing can go up all the way up to 15. So that's CDE gold miner. All right, our next stock is a little bit of a longer term play. Maybe a month or two swing trade. It's kind of getting stuck here. This is RXRX. I'm watching it for actually the breakdown. I think if this thing can break down, within the next few days and then spring, because it's had this kind of decline right here and it's kind of stuck right here. So I think it's going to break down, and then I'll be watching it for a spring to reclaim this level. And then I think the target would be the yearly moving average around $6 or 625. So that's RXRX, and this is highly shorted. All right, our next stock is SRPT. This is another heavily shorted name with a lot of bad news in it. We were saying that it's breaking the quarterly moving average last week. It's having a nice little back test here. Big red candle 3 days ago, and it's kind of sticking. So if this thing can kind of break down and reclaim, I think this thing could start getting going up to $25. All right, our sixth stock is a stock I actually outlined a couple weeks ago when we entered it, but we're going to add to it here on this breakout. This is DigitalOcean. We had MongoDB release some really good earnings. It's up about 35%, but I think that's going to be a catalyst for the software sector. And as you can see, DigitalOcean had this kind of pullback here, and it seems to have made a little higher low, and it's trying to break out right now. So if this thing could break out and get above this, what is this, $32 level, I think the next stop would be $35, and then onwards to $40. So that's DigitalOcean. All right, the seventh stock is ticker symbol CFLT. This is another software stock that has declined on earnings, made a pullback here, another smaller pullback here, and it's breaking out, making a new swing high today off of MongoDB's good earnings. So if this thing can get going, I would say the first target would be $20 at this gap fill. And then next, these quarterly moving average and the yearly moving average for CFLT. All right, our eighth stock is UWMC. This is a mortgage company. And I've kind of outlined a little sketch here where I, in the future moved the 16 period moving average out. And then kind of I'm predicting or forecasting what I think the move will be in this stock. So this is actually a pullback. I think this thing is going to pull back and fill this range right here, similar to what it did when it broke last time over here. So it's going to pull back. And depending on how that pullback lasts, I'm actually, because it's a little bit stronger and there's a little more catalyst, fundamentally with rates coming down, if this thing pulls back, undercuts this range, I would be a buyer on the spring setup. And then I think it would break out from there. And the next target would be about, what is that, 650. So that's UWMC. All right, our second to last stock is APLD. This is a play on data centers. It has a deal with CoreWeave that they outlined here, and that's why we got the gap up. And this thing's just been grinding, and it's all the way up here at the all-time highs. We got earnings coming, within the next month or so. But if this thing can get going, especially with NVIDIA earnings today, I'd be watching this one for a move. If this thing can it's kind of just grinding. If it could pull back here, or if it breaks out of this level, I think this thing can go clear skies all the way up to 20 bucks. So that's APLD. And our last stock is ARRY Technologies, ARRY. This is a solar stock that's gotten a big bid after some changes in the treasury about solar subsidies. And I did the same thing. I forecast out the moving average just by the slope that it's at right now. I think this thing's going to pull back. This is a resistance area. But if it holds here at this kind of resistance area and kind of goes sideways and makes a higher low, I would be trying to buy the higher low on this stock. And I think it can get to $11. So, hey, those are the 10 stocks. If you guys like the video, feel free to smash that like button and comment on your stock that you're watching this week. All right, cheers. Have a good one.